Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the next edition of our In the Know webinar program from the RSL and Services Clubs Association, brought to you by our good friends at Max. Today we are looking at some new products and new services that are being introduced into our venues and through hospitality management by quite a diverse range of different companies who are going to talk a little bit about what they've been working on in the last few months and where they can assist you in managing your business and managing your costs, etc. So I'll be introducing each of our presenters very shortly, but I'll remind you during the program, if you have any questions, there's a Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. If you type in your question, and then I will ask it of the particular presenter if it's a topic for a particular presenter. I remind you all also that the webinar is recorded and will be made available to everyone tomorrow once we get the recording. So we encourage you to distribute the recording to other friends and work colleagues if you believe that they would gain some benefit from watching this week's webinar program. Today, as I said, we've got four quite diverse companies presenting to us who are all very heavily engaged with the hospitality and the club industry and are partners of our association. Our first presenter, and I'll just take my slides down so that I can invite Travis Moore, the Managing Director of GEM Computers, to load his PowerPoint slides up and to invite Travis to speak. GEM has been a partner of our association since we started, and we welcome Travis here today as a foundation partner of our association to speak on his presentation. And Travis, you just need to take yourself off mute. There you go.
Oh, good. Thank you for the introduction, Gary. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining. My name is Travis Moore, Managing Director for GEM Computer Systems. Today, my presentation is going to focus on cybersecurity and how you can safeguard your business. So first of all, I just want to start with some facts. So the cost of cybersecurity events to Australian business has now reached $29 billion and expected to grow again this year. Since March this year, there's been quite a large-scale spike in security breaches, mostly due to people sitting around with COVID restrictions and alike, a lot of remote workers working out there in homes, in unfamiliar places and out of their corporate office. 64% of threats, of security threats are ransomware-based, most of which are initiated by end users. Most security attacks are go unidentified for 21 days, and once the attack has been identified, remediation works start taking place. During this time, an attacker may have access to your data and/or your network. Human error is the greatest risk to the security of your data. And also, more than 4,500 new phishing attacks are detected on a daily basis. So notifiable data breaches. Most of you would be aware by now that in February of 2018, the federal government released a notifiable data breach scheme, or the NDB scheme. This means that businesses are now obligated to ensure that all personally identifiable information is kept safe and secure. If the data that you store becomes compromised, you may need to report this breach to the OAIC, and fines may apply for businesses well into the millions of dollars. Where are we most at risk? As clubs hold many different data sets that contain personally identifiable information, these include things like membership databases that contain thousands to hundreds of thousands of records, visitor sign-in systems that contain up to millions of records, including copies of driver's licenses and passports. Obviously, the clubs have an obligation to keep these for a period of time. Our general recommendation to our customers is to only hold this data unless you require it past that period of time, only for the period of time that you require it to reduce the risk. Payroll and HR systems contain current and past employee data and records. Business processes may require reviews, such as emailing copies of member information to mailing houses that create through that process duplicate copies of member data. Some of that data will live based within your email systems or within systems that you can't control, i.e. the people that you sent that email to. A common misconception about data security is that it only relates to IT-based systems, at databases and records. Most clubs hold some form of non-electronic data, such as old paper-based sign-in slips. I've even seen a club who has had a book containing handwritten credit card details for people sitting on a desk in view and access of everyone. It's pretty key to make sure that stuff like that doesn't happen anymore. How can we reduce the risk of cyber attack? You can reduce that by creating complex passwords, account lockout policies, and enforced password resets. These are all critical to ensuring that a user account is not easily compromised by an attacker. Generally, that doesn't cost a lot of money to do that. It's purely making sure that your IT people are putting these systems in place and these policies in place. Review your firewall security frequently to ensure that the security services and subscriptions and the configuration is correct. Firewall security can be tested by an external security consultant by conducting a penetration test or similar. This is similar to the way a financial auditor works within your business. They come in, they audit your accounts. It's an independent person providing an independent view on the security of your network. Ensure you have a cyber risk policy in place. Another key thing we always find too is Wi-Fi security. Make sure your members and your guests cannot access your data, your company data, whilst connected to, say, your free Wi-Fi network as an example. Users should connect to the corporate Wi-Fi network with the username and password, not a code. Traditionally, a lot of people use codes to get on a network. That code was used by many different people. That could have been passed around for a long time, not changed in a long time. This creates a risk where the code is known by ex-employees who could gain access to your network and/or your data. If we look at things like multi-factor authentication, it's a free product that comes with Office 365. There's a little bit of time involved to onboard a user into with multi-factor authentication. However, this should be implemented as a standard across all email users within your business. This creates a second security barrier that if a user's password was ever to be compromised, there's another fail-safe in place to ensure that access is not gained to that user's account. Multi-factor authentication should be enforced company-wide for email, VPN, and other applications where supported. Staff training. This is one of the best ways to safeguard your data, is to provide end-user training. Ensuring your staff are able to identify risks is critical. Your staff are generally your last line of defense. There are a lot of security provisions in place in most networks. The last line of defense is always the end user. To make sure that user has training to ensure that they can identify risks is key. Human error is the single greatest security risk that basically exists out there. So cybersecurity awareness training should be considered mandatory, and that will basically decrease your risk profile, and it needs to be repeated on an ongoing basis, generally annually. The risks change every year to year. Ransomware is the biggest thing at the moment. That could change in the future. Making sure that their staff are kept updated on cybersecurity is key. Phishing scam simulation. Obviously, one of the biggest types of security breaches and things that we find these days is phishing through phishing scams. Somebody sent an email. That email user will contain a link generally. The user will click on the link and the process will start where an attacker can either get access to your data or the data becomes encrypted. So the phishing scam simulation will provide ongoing randomized phishing scam emails that are sent to the users that are template-based, or the content can be customized. This is reportable in a cloud-based system, and it has a dashboard to show you which users have basically compromised your business. Users that fail the simulation and they click through on a link are provided with additional training during that period of time. Must-have technologies. Offsite backups is something that's overlooked from time to time that we find. Offsite backups will ensure that a ransomware attack or if a natural disaster takes place, you have a copy of your data that's safely and securely stored offsite to get your business back and operational without the risk of data loss. In the event you were to go through a ransomware attack, your data would likely be encrypted. Depending on how deep that goes, depends on whether it's just one PC or the whole of your network. So making sure you've got a copy of a backup offsite away from the main network and somewhere safe and secure is critical. There's a misconception that data stored in the cloud is automatically backed up. This is simply incorrect. Most organizations today use Office 365 for email as an example. You should ensure that you have an Office 365 backup solution in place to prevent data loss. Endpoint detection and response, or EDR, is an add-on module to most business-grade antivirus packages. That can prove invaluable if an attack was to take place. The key components of EDR are security. It has included in the package a security event recorder, automated detection and alerting, live attack tracking, and breach containment. How can we save money? Regularly, we see customers that are paying for services they are not using. When it comes to data and telephone services, make sure you know the function of each service. Some services can be consolidated using newer technologies to save money. You should be reevaluating your plans that you're on, mobile plans, telephone line plans, and data plans on an annual basis. Know when you can upgrade your service to save money. There is a lot of changes to data plans, mobile plans, and things that happen all the time, and there is significant money to be saved there, especially in these times. Most businesses can now migrate to the NBN. If you've not already started, start looking at migrating to NBN supported technologies. This will prevent disconnection and potentially save you money. I've seen some clubs where we've been able to help save them up to thousands of dollars a month, some clubs tens of thousands of dollars a month. That's all I have. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us further. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much, Travis. That was quite comprehensive, very, very efficiently done, but quite a comprehensive issue. And it is an issue that all venues, all clubs should be looking at very closely and constantly keeping under review, because all of us are being subjected to these different types of attacks all the time and getting these phishing emails and other forms of corrupting data coming into our systems. So you need to make sure your systems are up running well. So thank you very much, Travis. That was excellent. Our next presenter, quite a different topic, is Glenn Hutchison from Supergas. Glenn, if you want to load your slides up. Supergas is again one of our corporate partners, and Glenn will tell you the range of different ways in which his products are assisting you currently in your businesses, and some new ideas that you may wish to think about if you're not already engaged with Supergas. So Glenn, welcome.
Gary, thank you. Yeah, different products. Often an overlooked kind of product. It's kind of gas is gas. But look, my name's Glenn Hutchison. I'm the state heater manager for Supergas. I also take care of hospitality throughout the Sydney region. I'm going to just touch on our products, our services today, and how they can help your venues and how Supergas can help your venues, especially in this period where we're coming out of COVID and we've still got some restrictions around it. And how can a gas company help you guys? So we'll start off with, who are we? I mean, we're the leading supplier of LPG, hospitality, helium, heaters and specialty gases. We are the fastest growing company nationwide currently in the gas field, and we're constantly looking for ways to continue to expand our sites and also expand our brand. And we're doing that through what we call our Yes We Can, and I'm going to touch on what that means. But our Yes We Can customer service, making sure we're looking after you with our products and ensuring that we're obviously highly competitive within the market. I mentioned Yes We Can. It's our company logo. It's our motto. It sits Well, yep, there we go. It sits just about every building, every office where we can. It's on our shirts. And what it means, it just embodies who we are and how we operate. All right, we're a solution-based thinking company. So when it comes to, you calling us on a Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. because you've got a gas out, you're out of gas, or you forgot to place an order or something like that, our first response is yes, we can. And then we work out how we're going to get that gas to you. But this is purely how we innovate in the gas space. Our products, from a hospitality point of view, your post-mix, your beer gases. We also look at your heaters, okay? We are the only company that provide a full service, full maintenance team when it comes to the heaters. We supply them, we keep them maintained, we keep them going. Heaters were often seen, especially several years ago, as they're nice to have in the venue. Now they're a must-have, and especially with the restrictions still around our COVID, our period. Outdoor dining, our fresco dining, beer gardens and so forth. We've still got that kind of weird weather, whether it's hot, is it cold? We've got solutions to make sure that your beer gardens and so forth keep your patrons warm. Therefore, we keep the beers flowing, so to speak. We supply different kind of heaters that can also just give you an ambient light as well as warmth, up to you and what suits your venues. Obviously, helium gas balloons for your celebrations, and we're coming into our Christmas period, our New Year period, that kind of thing. But also, we take care of things like our residential LPG gas, and we obviously our industrial. So if you've got like a maintenance shed or so forth around the venue, and you need some welding gases and so on, we can also supply that. We're essentially just a one-stop gas solution for any business. Didn't really mention the dry ice and so forth, but we're also supplying the dry ice. We've got our beer gases, we've got our CO2s and the nitrogen mixers, we've got our balloon gases, LPG, be you're cooking or you need it for your heaters. We've got all the gas that you guys would need to keep your venues running. Mention the heaters, that's just a small range of what we have in heating. So whether you're looking for just, something to keep everyone warm instantly, and we're looking at a simple patio, or you want to move into a more ambient light, a bit more of a show look about it with the flame coming through the middle of the heaters, we've got those as well. All right. It's now we're finding it's an imperative thing. You've just got to have them. You've got to have heating in your venues in order to keep your patrons warm, especially with our outdoor dining. So I mentioned earlier that we had our yes we can sort of attitude when it comes to supplying, looking after our customers and our customer service. What it really means is that you no longer have to worry about gas as a product in your venue. You can simply call me, call one of my team and say, hey, look, this is the problem we've got. You no longer have to think of it. Now it's our problem, we'll solve it for you. What we've been doing for our customers as we move into our, the COVID period and how we've been supporting them is what we've found is in the industry, a lot of people will overstock their cellars. And they're doing it in case they run out. If I have an extra 3 bottles, I'll be okay if I run out. It costs you money to do that. It's not something you need to do. And with our, free next day delivery service, there's no way you would need to carry that many cylinders and so forth. So we look at, your stock audits. We've looked at free rent periods in regards to COVID. We heard stories of other gas companies basically saying, no, you've got to get your products out of there. We left every single customer with their cylinders. We put them on rent-free whilst they've been closed. And unfortunately, still some of our venues are closed, but they're still on that rent-free. So that way, as soon as their doors open, they're ready to trade. They don't have to worry about, oh, did I order this? We've been in weekly contact with our customers so we can help plan, especially with our bigger groups, just making sure that, we know when you're going to open, and therefore, are you supplied? We're thinking about what they need rather than they having to think about what they need. The next part, which kind of speaks a bit to our Yes We Can, is that rapid response to our customer needs. And if I can just tell you a quick story, one of our restaurants in Darling Harbour opened up about a month ago. He called me. I've been a long-term customer, and said, "Oh, Glenn, I don't think we'll need heating this year. We're getting towards the end of October." He opened up on the Friday, and that happened to be the coldest night in October. He rang me at 5:30 p.m. On Friday night. I rang my senior tech, who was at home. He went back to work. He prepped the heaters. We got them loaded on a truck, and we had them delivered early the next morning, so we didn't lose a single day of trade. And that's what I meant about the Yes We Can. I've got team members sitting at home on a Friday night, and as soon as they get the call from the customer, they're like, okay, how do we make this work for them? I know, from the calls I got from the GM of the company and so forth, how much they appreciate that kind of support. And that's just not a one-off. It's something that we do day in and day out. That's really all I've got to talk about in regards to Supergas, what we do and how we do it. I'm more than happy to sit down on a case-by-case scenario with anyone if you're interested in just what you could do in regards to your gas supply and how we can make it more cost-effective for you. Because let's face it, it's not a business out there that doesn't want to save costs and save money. And if we can help you do that, then we'll certainly be part of it. Thanks, everyone.
Excellent, Glenn. Thank you very much. And I assert the point. With COVID, there are larger numbers allowed in the outdoor areas than there are in the indoor areas. The government health department people are concerned about the potential spread of COVID inside venues, but they're not as concerned with the outside. You still have to maintain, of course, the social distancing. But Glenn's point that we still will be needing those heating services outside in those outdoor areas is very important, because yes, in spring we've had very changeable weather, quite wide variations in temperature. And if we want to keep our customers happy outside, we've got to maintain those heating services, I think, for some time to come. And it is going to be a different season this season than what we had last summer. So we need to be aware of that. So Glenn, thank you very much for that presentation, very comprehensive. And again, another totally different, although there is a bit of beverage in Glenn's product, but Carl from Hunter Technologies, welcome to you, Carl. If you'd like to load up your slides. Carl's company looks after your beer cleaning lines and making sure that your product is an excellent product every time you serve a beer to your customers. So welcome, Carl.
Thank you. Thanks, Gary. Thank you for having us. And yes, as Gary was saying, a lot of you guys out there do know us as the suppliers of Cellar Control. That's probably one of our main products. But us as a company, we did founded back in 2007. And we work with a large range of innovative and environmentally friendly products. Cellar Control is probably our flagship product. It's the one that many of you would know out there. Quite a few would be using it. And it's a system that uses ultrasonics to prevent the growth occurring in beer lines. So you do less chemical beer line cleans while keeping a much cleaner beer, which gives you a good savings, obviously, on your beer wastage, your labour costs, and so on. So great product. And we're working with hundreds of clubs with that around Australia, have over 1,000 of those systems installed throughout the pubs and club industry. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was one of our other products. What we call the OH Air, and it's in a slightly different market to what most of you know us with the Cellar Control. And I guess to start it off, I want to talk about our COVID safe plans, which we've all unfortunately learned to adapt to and become part of our day-to-day operations. But currently, most COVID safe plans, their primary focus is on frequent surface cleaning and social distancing. So it's all about keeping surfaces clean. It's all about chemicals and doing as much cleaning basically as possible. And obviously enhancing ensuring the social distancing is happening. One thing many of them do not address is airborne contaminants, which now the World Health Organization has recognized a risk of airborne COVID. It's become one of the major issues in different types of venues all around our country and all around the world. And even with everything that currently companies are doing to get people in, there's still a lot of customers that are not yet comfortable to return to the venues. The technology from OH Air is a hydroxyl-based technology, and it does address airborne contaminants. And it's a 24-hour solution, which is safe for humans and has some excellent results. What it basically is either portable systems which go into high-risk areas, or technology which gets installed into the ducted in your current air conditioning. And how it works is it uses what they call hydroxyls, which are basically a free radical, which basically react with anything in the air. So that's viruses, bacteria, mold, odors. So it's got the benefit at the moment, which is on everyone's lips about COVID. So with COVID being in the air, it does treat that. It also treats all other coronaviruses. So standard flus, everything else that people also do get worried about being out in public areas. It does get rid of that, like molds and odors. So smokes, all the other different bits and pieces. It's original technology powered by NASA, but now it's being used all around the world. And it uses what is a UV-based technology to emit the hydroxyls into the air. They're odorless to us, so we don't notice them, and they're totally human safe. So they can be in a room full of people and cause no dramas, no issues at all to the public, but we'll be working 24/7 at breaking down the viruses, etc. It's definitely a unique treatment system, something that isn't available in too many areas, and not too many people have heard of this sort of technology. As I said, the advantage of the OH Air is that it can work 24 hours a day in a room full of people. So no matter if you've got one person in the bar or you've got a jam-packed, as much as COVID will allow you to pack it at the moment, it will be working for you. Fully FDA approved and tested technology. It's a class 2 medical device, so they've done all the testing on it to prove that it works on all the surrogate viruses of COVID-19. And the good thing is, as we've said, it's highly effective with airborne contaminants. So that's one of the biggest things. As I said, a lot of current systems aren't doing any sort of treatment against the airborne. The OH Air will be working on that airborne, but it will be treating all surfaces. So as the hydroxyls land in the air, they also land on the surfaces around the whatever might be in the bar, the gaming room, the foyer, the bistro, and landing on all those surfaces and helping break down those contaminants. So it's a two-edged sword. So if you do have a table and it hasn't been wiped down for a long time, the OH Air will be ensuring that it's also being treated during that time between cleans. And as I mentioned, it's perfect in closed spaces. So we have people using it in small hotel rooms all the way up to large gaming rooms and auditoriums. So it can work in any space whatsoever. It's very safe, very effective. It's immediate, and it is a natural process. It's basically taking the way the sun works outside in its sanitization, which goes back to what Gary was saying before with the indoor compared to outdoor dining, because they're not so worried about outdoor areas, they're more worried about indoor areas because of airborne contaminants and because of what naturally occurs outside. We help bring those processes inside to make the indoors as safe as the outdoors. So yeah, chemical-free, safe environmentally, and destroys with the FDA approval. That's all based on a removal of 99.9% of the virus and the bacteria. Very quickly, that's a graph showing how well it will work against COVID. So that is based on one system well, they're all different size systems, different rooms. However, within the hour, it removed 99.9%. And in most cases of testing, it's within 15 to 20 minutes. So it's very quick technology as well. So yeah, as I said, OH Air can be used anywhere. The high risk zones are great, so we put them in a lot of lobby areas. Can be used at bars to help keep both your patrons and your staff safe. We've got quite a few people that are liking it because in a lot of different industries, because it stops the passing of even the general flu between staff members, because it's working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days to prevent the cross-contamination. So putting all those different areas. Can definitely be a lot of venues, a lot of different people that are promoting it as a selling point, help get people more comfortable to come back into the venue. And COVID now might be the issue, but it works on anything. It works on all different viruses, bacterias, molds, the whole lot. So it's future-proofing your venue as well. Yep, they work obviously a long time. They're very quiet and they're efficient with the power, so you're not going to notice any of those sort of costs. As I said, we've got different ones. The Architect, we've literally just haven't had the photos taken, but it's ready to go. That's a wall-mounted system. We've got portable systems, and we've got the systems to go straight up into your ducting. Chatswood RSL is one of the RSL clubs that have taken it on at the moment. It's in their foyer area. So it helps that area where you've got people coming in, where the temperatures are being checked, all that people basically coming into your venue all have to come through that foyer. So it's probably one of the most high risk areas. So they've put the portable systems into their lobby to help make both their staff and patrons. Overlow hotels are another one, which in Sydney, where they've now put it through the overlows throughout the country. Different industry of the RSLs, obviously, but they are using it in their hotel rooms to basically keep a much cleaner place. So when the housekeeper comes in between different clients staying there, they put the portable system in there. Within 15 minutes, it's removed all the contaminants out of the room, giving a much cleaner, safer room for both their staff and their clients staying there. And they've got it on their website. They're pushing it. It's a selling point that they're using to get people comfortable and to come back in. That's basically it today. If you've got any more questions, please feel free, shoot them across. I'm happy to get all the information across to anyone that might be interested for their venue.
Well, thank you very much, Carl. And you've certainly lived up to the name of the topic of today, new innovations in hospitality management, because that is a great innovation. And for those of you who think, oh, well, we may not need it for much longer, COVID is going to be around for at least another 2 years, if not longer. And it's not just dealing with COVID, it deals with all sorts of viruses and airborne illnesses. So a great innovation, a great product. Well done, Carl. And later on, I'll be putting up a slide with all of our presenters' contact details, their email address and their mobile phone numbers. So if you wish to contact any of our presenters today, please make sure you note down their contact details. So well done, Carl. Thank you very much. Our final presenter today is all about fun. That's Will from Rhino Play. He's bringing the fun and the family back into our clubs. And Rhino Play is a partner with us, has been a partner now. He only joined just before COVID started, unfortunately. So he's probably had a bit of a limitation in selling his product in the last few months, but I'm glad to have you here today, Will, and welcome. And if you'd like to load up your slides. There you go, yes. And welcome to Will Tinetti.
Thanks, Gary. Yeah, hello, guys. I'm Will Tinetti. I'm the National Sales Manager for Rhino Play. So today I'm going to go through how playgrounds can have a positive sales impact on your club, and just run through how there's options or different playground options and play options for all different size rooms, locations and budgets. I do know that some of you may already have playgrounds in your clubs, so you may be looking for advice in how to upgrade your playground currently, or you may have plans to do a new one in the future. So I'll be running through just the options that we can help you with for those decisions. So just a little bit about who we are. As Gary said, we're a new sponsor with the RSL. So Rhino Play is Aussie owned and operated. We've been around for 19 years. We use sustainable and recycled products. So we have a warehouse in Morwell in Victoria, where we manufacture all of our playgrounds. And we do offer the option of creating your playground by recycling old playgrounds as well at the moment. And we are the #1 supplier to McDonald's. And we've also worked with some other major brands around the country, including YMCA, Donut King, Hungry Jack's, but also lots of pubs and clubs around the country as well. So we do have a bit of a history and a long history in helping other businesses and businesses like yourselves increase their bistro trade and general trade via having a playground. So as I said at the start, there is a big sales impact that a playground can have on your business. So you can attract more families, but you can also keep them there longer and encourage repeat business if you do have either an existing playground or want a new playground. So you may find that some of the problems that you can find in your venue is that, you know, if you have an existing playground that is a bit worn and doesn't look the greatest, so we can help you with getting that sort of maintenance and safety up to scratch. But at the moment, if you don't have a playground or you've got an existing playground that isn't maybe hitting the mark for families, you can probably find that they're getting frustrated that they're not having that service that they would like to entertain their kids during their time there. And then they may end up leaving early, which results in not spending as much money. But the big one is that we do know from our history through our clients and sort of monitoring data from the increase that a new playground or a maintenance job can have on a venue is that parents will travel to find that good experience with a playground. So if they don't necessarily have a great experience with you guys or your club, then you may just lose that business to, you know, Bob down the road who has a new playground or has a clean or safer playground. So you may find that you have those problems with families within your venues. So the way that a playground can help the club is firstly, you know, by attracting families. So as I said, families want a place for their kids to be occupied so they can enjoy their time wining and dining. So you want to increase that family patronage, but you also want to increase that safe and clean environment as well, because then with that peace of mind, families can then enjoy good company with their friends and family at your establishment for longer, which would then mean that the families would be staying longer than spending more at the venue with you. But also that good experience that I mentioned will increase your customer retention. So look, we all know it's pretty hard getting that customer in the first place. So the key is to have them coming back to your club. So the way that you can make that enjoyable is by having that good playground experience for their family, not just for the kids' experience, but also the parents' experience, knowing that they've got that safe and friendly environment at your club with the play area. Another good way that playgrounds can help is actually just the visual impact. So, you know, lots of you may have an outdoor playground already or have space outdoors that you aren't using as much, maybe with, you know, a bowling green or something like that. So a good way to get that visual impact and new business is if you do have an outdoor area that you can utilize, and then you have a playground that's 4 meters high with slides coming off it. If that's around the curb appeal, you'll probably find that when kids and families are driving past your club, when they see that playground, they will probably nag their parents to go and play in that playground if it looks attractive enough. So you can gain more business that way by having that strong visual impact. Not just outdoors, but also we can create that impact indoors and then use images to promote the playgrounds for you. And then finally, if you have a playground up and running that's in a good environment and it's safe and friendly and there's word of mouth, you'll create a busier, family-friendly and full of life vibe in your club because, your new clients are going to choose to have their dining experience with you rather than someone down the road because of that good experience with their play area and their children and their friends. So what we can offer to help you with all of that, we've got a wide range of products that suit all spaces and also all budgets. So firstly, our main big seller is our cube system. So this is a modular system, as you can see in the image there, that we can make go across, high, and to fit in any venue, but also to fit inside your budget and design brief. So we will create your own playground to suit your needs perfectly. So with these systems, there's obviously a strong visual impact with them, but each cube is 1 by 1 meter. It's a contained unit, which means that the children are in those cubes going up and down and across, having fun and essentially staying in there for longer because it is contained as well, which also will help you with the safety in terms of your fall zones of the equipment and utilizing any space. So this is our #1 selling product, and also has a strong visual impact, but can meet spaces and design briefs that suit exactly what you guys would require. Another option, which many of you may already have, is a soft play playground. So these playgrounds are what you typically see in those big indoor family fun centers. So if you're looking for that experience of having the big indoor play center that you may want, or more of a toddler target, soft play would be for you because it's soft padding. And again, we can make this fit in any budget and also space. So another option for you to look at. Now, the next one on here is actually a product that we're just about to launch. Apologies for that photo flipping, but during COVID, we've actually designed what we've called the Dragon Wall, which is a small, compact and easy to install unit. So this unit's only 1 meter wide and 2.4 meters high, and it's been designed to fit small budgets, to fit into any small space, but also it can be a good addition to a current play area because this unit is targeted to only toddlers. And what we're finding in the market is that parents are looking for toddler activities more than most, because some of the bigger playgrounds in the moment in the market don't have much toddler play. And the younger kids are the ones who are not occupied during the day when the older kids are at school. So parents are looking for places and venues to go to entertain their toddlers other than just the park. So this unit is designed to attract that toddler market into your club. But as I said, it can fit in pretty much any space, and it's a flat pack that could be installed by you guys at the club as well without us doing the installation. So again, it's a bit of a budget and budget offering, but also attracts the toddler market, which again, as I said, are the ones where the mums are looking for things to do during the day. And then finally, we've got a new digital offering available. Now, I'm sure that many of you in your times have probably gone down the path of buying PlayStations and buying iPads and a range of digital products that everyone is using at home. So these units are actually come in a hard case. And they've come with a 3-year warranty, which PlayStation and Apple wouldn't give you as well. They come loaded with 60 preloaded games, which are educational. And all you have to do is put them into the wall and then plug them into power, and then they will operate, whether that's on a wall or on a desk. But these units are designed to last for a long time in the protective case, but also to be easy to maintain because you just simply have to turn the power on. So again, this is a great way to get a longer lasting digital offering that you may have had a bad experience with, as I mentioned, but also could be a good addition to an existing playroom to spice it up a little bit, but also have the knowledge that the games that we have in there are also educational to the children and are designed for toddlers and upwards. So finally, just into our process, if you do want to inquire about how we could help your club, it's quite simple. So you speak to me and then I'd either do a site visit or access your plans and photos with measurements to understand what we're working with, and then run through your design brief and your budget. I will then come back to you with what that would all look like to you with 3 different options for you to make the decision of which one you think would best suit you. And then if that is all good with you guys, we would then move into organising the installation. So roughly that whole process is about 12 weeks. But it obviously will depend on your timelines and our timelines and exactly what you're after. And one thing I will mention as well, guys, is that I know that a lot of you already have playgrounds. So if you need help maintaining those playgrounds or ensuring that they're up to safety standards for the market, but you also may need some new additions or just overall help with cleaning them as well during COVID, feel free to contact us because, as I said, we can do all playground needs, but also help you maintain them to make sure you're getting the best out of them to increase that bistro trade. So thanks guys. And any questions, please reach out. And I'm sure I can help you out and begin that discussion. So thank you.
Well done, Will. Thank you very much. And can I say, you hit the nail on the head when it comes to the need for venues to be attracting families back. At the moment, our food and beverage sales in venues are still significantly lower than the pre-COVID levels. And we need to find a range of ways to win back the confidence and the support of our families in our local communities coming to our venues. So the concept of providing safe play equipment for kids so that they're attracted to come is a very important one, and I think something that all the clubs should be looking very carefully at. And as you said, you've got a range of different options there for size and budgets, etc. So well done. I'll just load my slides back up so that you can see the contact details of each of our presenters today. We've had the 4 presenters, all quite different topics. Travis talking about cybersecurity from Gem Computers. Glenn talking about the range of different gas products that you need to utilise and how his company can provide you with a comprehensive package of services. So Glenn Hutchison from Supergas. Carl with the OH Air product. Well done, fantastic product, and something I think all clubs should be looking at. And Will, well done with your Rhino Play and your range of different kids equipment and play equipment to attract our families and kids back to our venues. So thank you all for your participation, those 4 presenters today. Our next webinar in 2 weeks' time, we'll be talking about some of our community projects that we as an association support through our member clubs. So I hope you'll be able to join us in 2 weeks' time for that. And I remind all of you that all of our webinars are recorded and are accessible through our website. So if you visit our website, rslservicesclubs.com.au/webinars, you can visit any and watch any of the webinars that we've had over the last 5 or 6 months. Thank you again, gentlemen, for your comprehensive presentations today. And thank you to all of our listeners and viewers for joining us. And I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.